What is the stupidest mistake I've made as of recently? Great question. I would love to tell you. December 2022, I lost my wallet. I use the Apple MagSafe wallet that just hooks on the back of my iPhone, and it's great until you lose it. And then you lose the 3 most important cards you've ever owned in your entire life. And don't even get me started on the Find My feature, because that only tells you the last place the wallet was disconnected, which is not helpful at all. I don't need to know that. I need to know where it is. Any hoops, I lost my wallet. So now I've lost my driver's license and I have to replace that. So I go to the DMV website on my phone and I'm like, filling out the application, I get to the medical questionnaire. I'm like, yes, I am healthy and safe to drive, not a threat to anyone on the road, medically, or not a threat at all in any way, not just medically. I click submit and then it goes, ooh, sorry, you're gonna have to go to a doctor because you get vertigo and or fainting and fatigue behind the wheel. I'm like, okay. What? Apparently my sweaty little thumbs decided to just click yes to that question on the medical questionnaire. And now I have to go into the DMV and let them know, hey, just kidding. I don't lose consciousness behind a wheel and I've never done that in my life. Well, turns out it doesn't work that way. So I now have to go to a doctor to prove that I'm not a fainter. I go home. That day, I find my wallet. Where? In the black hole that is the space between the driver's seat and the center console. And I'm like, I just crossed 10 things off my to-do list this week. 9 months go by. My license expires on my 30th birthday. I push it a few weeks because the last thing I want to do is take a new driver's license photo when I'm 39 weeks pregnant and I can't even take a deep breath. So I go into the DMV with my paperwork and I'm like, I would like to renew my license. Takes my photo, does the eye test, takes my signature. We do our paperwork, finishing up. And she goes, by the way, did you ever sort out that whole physician's statement thing? And I said, no, because I didn't need to, because I found my wallet. Thought I lost it, didn't. Okay, well, that's not how that works, and you don't have a license. And I said, what do you mean? She's like, you don't have a license. I said, what do you mean? She's like, you can't just say you lose consciousness behind the wheel and then just go about your day without proving to us that you don't lose consciousness. That's not how that works. I don't lose consciousness. I do have a sweating problem. If I would have accidentally made this mistake on a written form in the DMV, I could have walked up to them with a clipboard and been like, hey girl, accidentally checked yes, but I don't. So I'm gonna just... Her boss comes back, looks at the computer for approximately 7 seconds and says, yup, your license was canceled in January. You're gonna have to start all over. You mean expired, right? Canceled. He says, happy birthday, you're 16 again. You have to now take a driver's test and also a written test, and you have to go to the doctors before any of that and let us know you're not a fainter. I pushed a human out of my body days ago, and now I'm being told that I have to fix one of the most avoidable and time-consuming mistakes I've ever made in my entire life that is totally my fault, and I have no one else to blame but me. And he goes, look, just go get it cleared at the doctor's, come back, take your written test, and I will remember you, and we will get you on the road the same day, and it will be very quick. Don't stress about this. Sir, you don't know me at all. I stress about things I don't even need to stress about. So this I'm for sure gonna stress about. I take the first appointment with the closest doctor I can find. It's a week from that day. The doctor clears me, faxes it over and says, confirmed, you're good to go. Here's your paperwork back. You can take it back to the DMV. I then make an appointment for the DMV to take my written test a week from that day. I go in, I fail it. I was so confident I would pass that test, I didn't even think I needed to study. I don't even pass tests that I study for. I don't have a college degree for a reason. So I had to gather my things, go past Jonas and say, I failed, and then go up to the counter and schedule another test for the next week. I spent that entire week taking 200 plus practice tests because now I'm not just gonna pass it, I'm gonna get a perfect score or pass it. Next week rolls around, I go to the DMV, same deal. Paperwork, picture, eye test, signature, more paperwork, gives me my code for my test. I go and I take it, I pass it. We have jumped over 2 of the 3 major hurdles for me to get my license. I go back up to the counter, give him my sheet, say I passed, and I said, let's get on the road. And he's like, how does November 19th sound? What do you mean? He says, how does November 19th sound for your skills test, your driver's test? I say, that's today. That has to be today. That's today. He said, I would take a look around you and see how many people there are in this DMV. Your driver's test is not today. It's the 19th. And it's also not the 19th if you don't answer soon, because that date will fill up in about 30 seconds. I swear to you, I am the last person on the planet to ever ask for your manager, and the only reason I'm gonna do this right now is because he told me to ask for him, because he said he would remember me and get me on the road really quick the same day. Come back, take your written test, and I will remember you, and we will get you on the road the same day. I'm not asking for your manager because I don't believe you or think that you're good at your job. I really, really think you're good at your job, and if the earliest you can get me on the road is November 19th, I will do that, and that's fine. It sucks, but it's fine. But really, really quick, can I talk to your manager? He said, let me go ask him. Hang tight. He comes back a few minutes later and says, we're going to get you on the road today because a kid forgot his birth certificate and his driving test is in 15 minutes and he had to cancel and reschedule for another day. I could have kissed his lips with my lips. I get in the car with the instructor. I am shaking as if I have never driven before in my entire life. We're backing out of the parking spot and I say, has the test started yet? And he said, the test started the moment that you got in the car. And I'm like, totally. I was testing you. And he didn't laugh because it wasn't funny. You're looking at a new owner of a Nebraska driver's license. Thank you.